Hello and welcome to the agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. Today we will discuss why 2611 masterminds are still to be punished by Pakistan. On this day in 2008, 10 heavily armed terrorists came from Pakistan via the Arabian Sea and attacked Mumbai at multiple places. The terror attacks lasted for 60 hours before the brave Indian security forces eliminated 9 of them and captured one alive. 166 innocent people, including some foreigners, were killed. The terrorist Ajmal Kasab, who was caught alive, gave out the entire details of how the major attack on Mumbai was planned by Pakistan's intelligence agency ISI and executed by Lashkar-e-Toiba terror outfit. It is now 12 years since then, but the masterminds of the attack on India are still to be punished for their heinous crime. In the agenda today, we will analyze this issue with two security experts, retired Brigadier Vinod Datta and Dr. Ravi Gupta, who has served as Director of Public Interface at the DRDO. But before we begin our conversation, let's have a look at this report.
It was an attack of unprecedented kind. 10 Pakistani terrorists used boats to cross the Arabian Sea and reached Mumbai on this day in 2008. The terrorists, armed with assault rifles and large quantity of ammunition and explosives, then split into groups and wreaked havoc at multiple places. They targeted crowded places and icons like Chhatrapati Shivaji Railway Terminus and Taj Hotel besides the Jewish Center. The intent was to cause maximum casualties of Indians as well as foreign nationals, including the Israeli citizens. The terror attacks lasted for 60 hours, leaving 166 people dead and the country outraged. The Indian security forces eliminated 9 terrorists and captured one alive while trying to ensure minimum civilian casualties. Subsequent investigations and revelations made by Ajmal Kasab, the lone terrorist caught alive, showed that the attacks were masterminded in Pakistan by its notorious intelligence agency ISI and executed by Lashkar-e-Taiba terror outfit after months of planning. In fact, the handlers sitting in Pakistan were in continuous touch with the terrorists who struck in Mumbai and were even guiding them while watching live coverage on Indian news channels. Mounts of evidence were available and provided to Pakistan to act against the masterminds, but 12 years later, none has been punished. Rather, terrorists with active support of Pakistani establishment continue to plan and undertake attacks in India. The US, whose nationals were among the terror victims in Mumbai, also did not do enough to pressurize Pakistan to act against the masterminds of the heinous act. It only made a symbolic announcement of $10 million on capture of LET chief Hafiz Saeed, but there was no follow-up as the terror mastermind remained a free bird. Bureau Report.
Now let's welcome our guests, Brigadier Datta and Dr. Ravi Gupta. Welcome to the program, sir. So I'll begin by asking Brigadier Datta about, it has been 12 years since Mumbai was attacked. I mean, it was a major attack on India by Pakistan, I will say. So what has changed since then?
Good evening, Ajay. You are right. It is almost 12 years when India was attacked via Arabian Sea, and the commercial capital of the country was literally, was under siege, and the terrorist operations continued for 4 days, and there were LET cadre who were there, and which resulted in 166 deaths, including 9 terrorists. And India thereafter has been, endorsing dossiers to Pakistan. It has been always making making rhetoric on this issue at various platforms at international level. But Pakistan has paid no attention, and neither the United Nations or such like organizations which are there. And if you see the other democracies like America, if you see when Osama was killed, the Operation Neptune's Spear, which was being monitored by the President of America, and the President designate was also a member of Foreign Affairs Committee and who was also overseeing the operation. So clue from these operations that there is no point taking these issues at international forum when nothing substantial or conclusive comes out of it. Secondly, we took years. Yes, I always respect that, the justice should be delivered in a deliberate manner, and the benefit of doubt also should be given to the convict. But, sorry. But it should not take so many years where it was a cold-blooded murder on part of Lashkar-e-Toiba, and Kasab was being literally treated like a VIP, and we could not even register a case in Pakistan. So it is high time that yes, terrorism should be punished, and it should be punished immediately so that the point is driven home to Pakistan. And I am sure.
So I'll now turn to Dr. Ravi Gupta. As you heard the Brigadier Datta, and as I asked him, what has changed? I don't think anything has changed, because it was Mumbai attacks then, it has been Pulwama attack last year, and even today we have an attack in Srinagar where we lost 2 soldiers. So what has changed? Has our point been driven to Pakistan?
Ajay, I fully agree with you. Basically, nothing has changed. And I am thankful to Brigadier Datta for highlighting so many issues related to that. But the matter of fact is, why? Why this kind of terrorism takes place? Why India is always at the receiving end? And why can't we take what do you publicly call it a pursuit? Chase those culprits. Americans have done it. The Israelis have been. Every important country have been doing. Why? Because we have been off target. Whatever may come, we will not retaliate. And that has not changed. Instead of, surgical strike into Pakistan, that basic premise remains that the people is still alive. So we need to change that. It remain peaceful only. These people have no right to, they cannot afford peace. We have to change our policy basically and learn from the past. It's the ideological kind of action. We have been facing past 1,000 years. It is not 800 years attack, invader after attack, invader. On kind of murder. And why? The most important thing which we ignore is that the people within us, the main culprit. This 26/11 happened. After that, we found that as a tendency to do other things as if our lives are very. And then there were people who were people like a person like very well proven, but Supreme Court is open up middle light just to postpone the or cancel this sentence of death sentence. How ridiculous it is! And those people are still surviving. Nobody is
Right. So, Brigadier Datta, as
And
we,
people,
yeah. So, Brigadier Datta, as you heard Dr. Gupta also, what are the lessons learned? Have you learned any lessons?
see, in terms of technology,
Ajay
Yeah.
see,
you see,
there
lessons
is this,
learned
I,
is an
I,
outdated concept as
I think Dr. Gupta, yeah, Brigadier Datta is speaking. Yeah. Please.
okay. Ajay yes, you see, lessons learned is a, I think, outdated concept as far as our country is concerned. What we must emphasize is, or what we must, you see, take home is that lessons applied. You take the case of, David Headley, who was nabbed, and he has made statement, he has given a statement which is recorded, which is well documented, which said that yes, he was working for LET, he was working for ISI, and his original name was, he's a Pakistani American, his original name was Dawood Sayyid Gilani, and he has had 5 spy missions in India. He came and stayed in high-class hotels. He came and stayed in India. He met very well linked people, and still after much of evidence and documentary evidence, the World Forum and Pakistan is not taking cognizance of it. So it is high time that yes,
No,
as a
no,
military
Brigadier.
leader,
No, Brigadier Datta, I don't expect Pakistan to take cognizance or act. So, I will say it
yeah.
is the failure of the USA. USA, which is supposed to be the world policeman, their own citizens were killed in the attack. And what the USA did was they announced a bounty of $10 million on Hafiz Saeed, who continues to be a free man under the nose of
Yeah.
US. So, I will say it is the fuel, and I mean, America never did anything to actually punish him.
No, American did not do anything because it never pinched them. Yes, you see, but it was America only when the Bureau of Prisons were asked about the data. This guy David Headley was punished for Mumbai attacks, his involvement in Mumbai attacks. Though he was caught for this, he was caught, in the Denmark spying case because his links were established.
No,
So it was.
Hadley was a double agent. He was arrested in a narcotic case, basically.
Yeah, narcotics case,
Yes.
Which was in Denmark. So after having given statements which have been recorded, which have been well documented, I think it is high time that India should take, and the World Forum, it supports very heavily actions against terrorism, and we must carry out strikes on all these camps which are there, and like FATF meeting is going to be there in February. You see, what Pakistan is doing is, it is basically doing a smoke screen or a whitewash investigation, which it is carrying out. Like he has been jailed for 10 years, and I'm sure he must be having a rollicking time. He must have been even house arrested in some kind of a guest room where he must be getting all the facilities and all the amenities which he is enjoying. So what we must do is that, yes, we must go hell on leather on these camps which are there, right from Bahawalpur, Lahore, Muribke, Rawalpindi, Muzaffarabad, right up to Manshera. And all these cadres, like what is happening is, now since the borders have been sealed, these tanzeems or these organizations are finding it very difficult to make an ingress, and they are now desperate. So they are going to carry out such kind of operations, like you rightly brought out. Even today there was an operation in Srinagar. So it is high time that India should strike these camps. India should identify, and now today you have weapon delivery system. You have that kind of weaponry which is so precision, which is so surgical, that if you, like what had happened with General Qasim Soleimani, you see, he was reduced to ashes. So
Right.
we can have these kind of attacks which are going to punish terrorism. By no stretch of imagination, India is going to attack any civilian establishments or military establishments of Pakistan. But yes, terrorism should be addressed, engaged, and decimated.
Dr. Gupta, I'll come to you. as I was just asking Brigadier Datta about how world has failed, particularly the US has failed, because their own American citizens were killed in the attack, but they just left it that. What do you say on that?
Yeah, I think that is quite expected. If you take the history of past 50, 60, 70 years, the violence in other countries has been promoted by many countries. It is not just Pakistan or China. Matter of fact is, unless we are strong enough, there are reasons that the US should help us. And help in the sense that, yes, if somebody has been caught in America, they should hand over to us. They should provide us actionable intelligence. But they will not. Why should they do it? Why should anybody help us? Unless we are strong, nobody will help us. If we expect those terrorists, they will never do it because they are the real culprits. The brain behind the 26/11 terrorist attack has been Pakistan itself. So don't expect anything to be Pakistan. Similarly, America will do it if America, and anybody will have interest only local. First, we have to be strong enough and say, yes, no further tolerance for any kind of
So, Dr. Gupta,
ideology, it is Islam. We will not tolerate it and get it. Remember, here is the key. And for peace, we need to. Now, coming back to what has done, yes, after 2008, a lot of technology made in terms of surveillance and in terms of rapid action. I don't want to go into detail for all these, but the process of the technology is one thing. Deployment is another aspect. It was a bit slow. It has picked up in the last 6 years, and today we are far better prepared. I know it is easy for anybody to enter from the India. So it was very shameful for
Dr. Gupta,
yeah.
as you said that we had to be strong, and as Brigadier Datta also said that we have the capabilities. You have been in DRDO, you know how strong our missile systems are and how precise they are. You know it better than anybody else. So, what is stopping us from using those?
So when it comes to using them, now that somewhere I still find last 12 years, 6 years, 6 years BJP and I don't see the kind of act. You are very rightly technologies in terms of we are second to none. Our forces are really brave. They have the capability to go and strike wherever it is required. So now what is lacking is the will not as it is required. Otherwise, it is that 12 years all operated except the person who was not there. Everybody else is enjoying his life, and our people, they have been denied.
Right. So, Brigadier Datta, I will come to you. One more aspect is, we know about Israel. Israel is known to take revenge whenever its citizens are hurt anywhere in the world. And here in Mumbai, I think they lost 12 people in that attack. But Israel also has not actually done anything visibly against Pakistan. How do you explain that?
Ajayji, power respects power. You see, if in the Asian region, India is a formidable power. And unless we assert ourselves, unless we, make our presence feel in the right, for a right cause, I'm underlining the word right cause, none of these nations are going to, understand your power or your stature or your kind of standing. So, India has that kind of military forces we have, endless list of military leaders, military jawans or junior commissioned officers who can carry out any kind of operations which can literally shake Pakistan. But unfortunately, because of the political, clearances or the files moving up and down, it takes time and gaining mileage out of it. If you recall the operation of NTB, you see, it was again Israeli operation, 90 minutes in NTB. They got all their, people who were held as hostages, they were freed, in which the younger brother of, the Premier Netanyahu was killed. So what I want to tell you is that we have to have a, muscular nationalism and a will. And since we are losing every, fourth day a brave heart, and almost 90,000 people have been killed, both in uniform as well as civilians in Kashmir. It is high time that, yes, we must punish these terrorists, we must punish these organizations, and there is no requirement of taking anybody's validation or anybody's counter signatures in carrying out these attacks, because they are in the good of society and the community.
Brigadier Datta, as you just mentioned that we are a powerful country in Asia. It's good, we know it, and we have the capabilities, but we have to demonstrate it, not on the Republic Day, but in real action. So that is how another country will accept, and the whole world will know that you will do it. So when will we do that? And as you mentioned about Israeli operation, anti hijacking operation, I think we have also carried, NSG carried out one operation in '94, I guess, releasing all hostages. So after that, I think I don't. Yeah, please.
Yeah, even in Uri also, the surgical strike or the operations which had carried out, and there are other large number of such operations which may not have come to the fore or which may not have been discussed on national media. There have been operations, and there have been successful operations. So it is high time that, yes, we must carry out such operations and
tell the world.
And tell the world. Yes,
that is important.
Tell the world. I endorse your views, and tell the world if we are not going to tolerate this nonsense.
Right. So, Dr. Gupta, I want to ask you the same question, that if we have the capabilities, we have to demonstrate those in real action, which will send a message to the whole world, not only Pakistan, that you can't, trouble us, isn't it?
See, sending a message is extremely important. People don't see that what you might be having. People, whatever is visible to them, then only people realize that yes, the country is strong enough. Simply by having n number of aircraft, n number of missiles, n number of radars, it doesn't took this trend. Displaying on the particular parade is good for building enemy sees your intention. See, after Balakot, what happened? See, Pakistan was shaken, and it's shaken now. So we have to assert ourselves, and for a right cause. Pakistan is a much, and for its political causes, troubling us and giving us, and what we are doing, we are exporting onion, going on. What is this of? How was blood of people who lost their lives, or the day people are losing lives? Is their life so cheap? Can we have a business with our country, which is a terrorist state in unleashing? So, in my opinion, all trade with Pakistan should have blocked. But that didn't happen. That had a message that you do, India will not retain. Whatever may be the India, they will not retain. That has to change. Our government, I'm thankful that they out the second strike and that Balakot and displayed their one also against China. Fine. But that is not. We must show that we are not ready to tolerate kind of nonsense. And we ready to go whatever, even if nuclear war doesn't. First is for which purpose we have all this. We just our weapons, whether nuclear or they are strength, they are for peace. But peace will come only when you have action to go home. War should be the last, but it must be demonstrated that that resort is open, that option is open, and we will take the action. It will not be kind of mentally we are strong enough to take any action whatsoever. We have to pay whatever is the price for our action and peace. Then only the country respect.
So, Dr. Dr. Gupta, we are running out of time. So, last question to you. I want to ask you, you mentioned about Balakot. Balakot was one symbolic action which was taken in reaction to Pulwama. But after that, we left it at that. There was no other action to send further message that we are not going to tolerate terror camps on your soil.
Exactly. This was, the world is seeing it as a symbolic action, not as a capability or intention to retaliate any action. Every day, every single day when pushing terrorists, kind of terror attack, every attack must be retaliated. And once in the election times, that हम 10 मारेंगे. आज भी अटैक हुआ है हमारे, आप उनके 30 जाके आप देखिए सब बंद हो जाएगा. All you do it for 1 month and you stop.
So, maybe Brigadier Datta, I'll ask you one, as Dr. Gupta mentioned that हम 10 मारेंगे एक के बदले. Suppose today, we talk about today's attack in Kashmir, we lost 2 soldiers. So, who are we going to hit back on that?
Yeah, Ajay, that's what I had mentioned earlier also, that every 4th day we are losing a brave heart. So how long will you be taking this point further that हम ये कर देंगे, हम वो कर देंगे? This is the time, when we can do it. And I'm telling you, I just named those launch pads which are there. You simultaneously attack them. You simultaneously destroy them. You have that kind of precision ammunition. You have that kind of precision missiles. You don't have to cross boundary. You have to engage these targets right from our depth areas. And the lesson will be sent in the right tone and in the right kind of tone and tenor. And Pakistan after Balakot has really become very subdued. So it is high time that yes, if there is any misadventure, it should be immediately plugged and addressed.
Right. The message has to be sent across, and it has to be sent across seriously, as you both of you say, and I agree with that. And thank you both of you for participating in this debate.
Thank you.
This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I will be back with another important topic tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.